So more from the Essential Guide of CBD. Addictions and alcoholism. As an anti-inflammatory that helps quell anxiety and boost the release of your body's natural pain blockers, CBD can go a long way in making you feel good. It's also non-addictive and does not cause withdrawal symptoms if or when you stop using it. This means for some people, the molecule that could be a pain-relieving alternative to habit-forming opioid drugs. That's a big deal, especially today. So many people are having issues with this, right? There's not a family that doesn't have, hasn't been affected by this. CBD may also help people overcome their current addictions due to its toning effect on the endocannabinoid system, which in turn impacts memory, or more specifically, our ability to forget. Many of our cravings are grounded in how our brain remembers an experience. You wouldn't crave a drink if you never had it, right? Or if you didn't remember what it was like. As anyone who has ever tried to cut back or quit an addictive substance like nicotine or alcohol knows, it's exponentially harder to avoid relapsing when exposed to familiar environmental cues associated with the past addictive behavior, whether at home or work settings, for example, when bombarded by a steady stream of beer commercials during a football game. It's like when it used to be okay to smoke out in a bar, and then if you try quitting smoking, then having a drink and a cigarette was natural, but now you can't smoke anywhere. But before, it would be much harder to quit because it was always around you. When someone who has taken drugs or alcohol is exposed to a drug or alcohol-related environmental cue, it can trigger a yearning for that experience. CBD may step in and interfere with cue-induced memories to reduce future cravings. It's been successful in animal studies, as reported in the Journal of Addiction Biology in 2017. Rats addicted to heroin lost their attraction to it after being treated by CBD. Can you imagine? So many people could be helped. Similarly, a 2009 paper demonstrated that CBD suppresses the cues or triggers associated with heroin. By interacting with memory systems in the brain, CBD helps to ease compulsions to use opioids. Researchers at Mount Sinai in New York have published several papers on these topics, the most recent being a clinical trial of CBD for reducing relapse to heroin. Taking high doses of CBD dramatically reduced the likelihood that participants would take heroin when triggered by the things they associated with it. Simultaneously, it ameliorated the extreme anxiety and discomfort that typically occur during withdrawal, and the positive effects lingered. After dosing CBD for 3 days, the participants experienced relief for up to a week, similar to what has been seen in laboratory and animal studies. This research suggests that CBD may aid in unlearning the habits surrounding addiction and can lead to cravings and relapse well after the withdrawal has subsided. CBD may also help restore healthy endocannabinoid system activity, which research shows is disrupted by substance abuse. So like everything else, you're going to deplete your body of everything we produce when you start substance abuse. Everything in our body is going to get depleted, even our endocannabinoid system. So taking an exogenous cannabinoid is going to help you, as the studies have shown, is going to help you with all of this. In 2019, a study of Spanish researchers concluded substance abuse causes a disruption in the synaptic plasticity in the brain circuits involved in addiction, with the alteration of normal endocannabinoid activity playing a prominent role. This facilitates abnormal changes in the brain and the development of the addictive behaviors that characterize substance use disorders. In other words, substance abuse wreaks havoc on the endocannabinoid system, which can reinforce an addictive cycle. So CBD, it has so many benefits. Project CBD's extensive 2019 survey, which included 3,506 people spanning the globe representing 58 different countries, yielded hopeful results. The majority of those using CBD to tame their substance abuse issues reported being addicted to alcohol, tobacco, or opiates. A smaller percentage reported being addicted to benzodiazepines and amphetamines, cocaine, sleeping medication, ketamine, food, sugar, caffeine, and high THC cannabis. Participants taking CBD for addiction were very likely to report that they were also taking CBD for mood issues, pain, sleep problems, and or PTSD. The survey found that about 50% said they stopped using alcohol and 45% used less after CBD. That's huge. It was comparatively less helpful as a smoking cessation aid. Well, that's okay though, right? Stopping alcohol and heroin, this is amazing. Perhaps most exciting is the research showing that CBD and cannabis can be effective in breaking an addiction to opioids. Observational studies where researchers collect data based on what is seen and heard have reported that many people voluntarily decrease the amount of opioids they are using or go off opioids completely. It's amazing. When they use them in conjunction with cannabis. An animal and laboratory study suggests that cannabis and CBD may reduce the risk of relapse. This is huge. So, a 2016 Israeli study showed that a study of 176 opioid-using adults found that opioid was reduced by 44% after they began smoking cannabis or eating cannabis-infused cookies. Similarly, in a study of more than 1,000 of his patients, Dr. Sulak, the founder of the Director of Integrate Health, found that many stopped using opioids completely after starting cannabis. This is amazing. Now, this is available over the counter, and it matters. Quality matters of what you get. You want to make sure that you're getting a good, clean quality, because this is an unregulated industry, and you could be buying stuff. Someone could slap a label on it and it could be olive oil or it could be motor oil. You have no idea. So making sure it's quality is really important. So if you've tried CBD in the past and you didn't really know what the quality was, maybe that was the issue, or maybe you weren't consistent with it. So consistency and quality is most important. I hope this helps someone.